Hello and welcome back to the Saturday edition of Phoenixdreams SpeakWrite with Sid. Today what we're going to do is we're going to talk a little bit about grammar and a bit about pronunciations as well. So let's get into it. What we'll do is we'll take two parts of speech today. A part of speech is a part of the English language. So we're going to talk about two of those. In brief, we're going to talk about verbs and we're going to talk about nouns. So let's understand each of them. A verb is an action word, a word which communicates or conveys an action that is being taken. So it is always said as to do something, to walk, to talk, to speak, to write, to run. To do something is a verb. A noun, on the other hand, is a descriptive word. It just describes something, a thing, a place, a location, a person, a behavior, a concept. It's always a description of something. Now, there are various kinds of nouns in the language, common nouns, proper nouns, collective nouns, compound nouns, and we'll talk about all of them in detail in subsequent videos. In fact, we'll talk a lot more about verbs and nouns and their usage in the language in the subsequent videos. Today I'm going to focus on one thing in particular, and that is about converting verbs into nouns. When you do the conversion of verbs into nouns, you generally add a suffix to it. A suffix is a set of alphabets, letters that you end at the end of a word. So to convert a verb into a noun, you put a suffix to it. The suffix is normally Tion, Sion, Ment, and words like that, or suffixes like that. Now you'll catch me saying the words normally, generally, quite often when I do these videos with you, because that's how it is. See, there are rules for everything, and there are exceptions. And in the English language in particular, you'll find a lot of exceptions. There will be a lot of exceptions to a lot of rules we talk about. So, like I said, Tion, Sion, Ment. Let's look at a few examples of that. In fact, I already used two examples when I said addition of a suffix. So addition is a noun form of the word to add. So to add becomes addition. Similarly, to elaborate becomes elaboration. So there are lots of words where you add tion. A nice example is to vacate becomes vacation, because and that's why a vacation is called what it is. What you do is you vacate your home for a few days and you go and live somewhere else. So it is a vacation, and that's why it's called a vacation. Similarly, another example I use is conversion of a verb to a noun. So that's where the SION comes in. So to convert becomes conversion, to decide becomes decision, to evade becomes delusion. Now, the point to note here is how you pronounce the two suffixes, the Tion and the SION. Normally, when you have Tion added to the verb, you say it as shun. It's a sh sound, an SH sound. And when you add SION to the verb to make it a noun, it is normally a j sound. It is a J with a slight H sound to it. So it's because it's not a j sound. It's not a z sound. It's j. So it's decision. It is not decision or decision. It's decision. It's a j sound. So like I said, there are a lot of exceptions. So there will also be exceptions to these rules I'm talking about right now. So there will be words which have the SION suffix but have the sh sound of the TION, and that's what I'm going to give you homework for today. What I want you to do is search a bit, do some research, use Google obviously, and find out words which are normal, which have TION and sound like sh, SION and sound like j, but particularly look for those words nouns which end with SION but have the sh sound, the SH sound. Right? That's all I have for you. One last thing I want to tell you, something very funny, and it is about the thing that we've been talking about pronouncing. Now, to pronounce is a verb, so it'll also need to be converted to noun when required. So when you convert the verb to pronounce, which is PRONOUNC, into its noun form, you take the O out. So you change the spelling as well as the way you say it. So the noun form of pronounce is not pronunciation, it becomes pronunciation. Why? There is no specific reason. If there is, it's lost in history. So to pronounce in its noun forms is pronunciation. So that's all I have for you today. I hope you like what you're watching, and if you do like what you're watching, as always, please do like, share and subscribe, and please let me know your research in the comment section. Thank you very much. Have a great evening.